Welcome back. It has been a minute and I have missed sewing with you all. I've had some things pull me away, but I wanted to hop on and create something fun with you. So I don't know about you, but I get this, what do you call it? I call it my girlfriend comes to visit every month. If you're a female, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And sometimes when you're going out, you don't want to carry, a huge purse. But you do want to make sure that you have your essentials that you need. So I was like, oh, let's create a fun little pouch that can hold our essentials that we need. And is not big and bulky. Okay, so we are going to create these cute little, I'm calling them feminine pouches. But really, y'all, you can use them for other things, and you can put chapstick in it, makeup, whatever that you might need. But there's going to be two sizes available for you. And so this one here is like our tampon size. And when you open it up, as you can see here, you can fit, like there's just 3 in here, and a little liner that you can fit in here. That's a couple of them. So obviously there's more room to fit more in there. So that's that one. And let's see. And then there's also, just lay that down. There's also a pad one for those who don't do tampons, that you might use pads. And so when you open it up, this is a size 5, which is a really heavy duty absorbent pad. But so you can tell this holds like a size 2 size 5s. So you can get more in there if you use a smaller size. Okay. All right. So I'm going to let you know all the tools and materials that you're going to need, and we'll create this quick little project together. Okay. All right, so on our website, you will see the pattern available for this particular project. And this pattern will have both the small size as well, small size being the tampon size, as well as the pad size. Both of them will be together in one pattern, okay? And so that's going to be available to you. Make sure you pay attention to the pads one, because it's going to have a dotted line on the side with arrows pointing to it to let you know that you want to place this side of your pattern on the folded side of your fabric. Okay, so what does that look like, Miss Ann? Okay, I'm so glad you asked. So those of you who are new, if your fabric is folded on the side, when you place your pattern piece, you want to place it so that it is lining up with that fold, okay? And do not cut the fold, because this is only half of what we need. But once you cut the remaining outside and you open it up, it's going to give you this full piece. Does that make sense? All right. So make sure you pay attention to that, because I don't want you having 2 half pieces, okay? Because that's going to mess up your measurements, okay? So pay attention to that, and also pay attention to your grain line marking. And remember, again, for those who are new, your grain line arrow here should be running parallel to your selvage edge. So again, Miss Ann, what is a selvage edge? Let me open this fabric up. So a selvage edge is the finished edge of your material, okay? If you see here on this guy, and sometimes you'll see like writing going along, you can see, I don't know if you can see this, see the million holes right here? Okay. This is the finished edge of your fabric, and you can't pull any fibers off of it. See how I can't pull any fibers off of it? But now if you were to turn it, these are your crosshairs. So across here, you can pull fibers off of it, okay? But that selvage edge, you cannot. It's finished. And so you want to make sure anytime you're working with the pattern that you take your pattern piece, and if there's a grain line marking on it, you want to position that pattern piece so that that grain line is going the same direction as your selvage edge, okay? Because it's just letting you know the way the grains are running in the material. And you want to make sure you cut your fabric properly, okay? So that covers the pattern, okay? Now, you can use a fat quarter for this, y'all. I am not joking. This is literally a fat quarter project, and a fat quarter is really big with quilting people because they don't need a lot of material. And a fat quarter is like a big chunk of fabric, okay? A chunk out of fabric. So it normally measures like 18 inches by like 21, 22 inches wide. So it's a good sized chunk of material, and there's a lot you can do with it. So this is definitely a fat quarter project. So all you would need is one fat quarter if you want the same print for both. If you want a different print for the outside and the inside, then get you two. Okay, that makes sense. If you're purchasing fabric by the yard, like if you go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's or you order offline, then all you would need is a 1/4 yard of material, okay? You can have a 1/4 yard that will cover both, or you can have a 1/4 yard each, okay? So, you know, it's pretty much up to you as to what you want to do with that. You will also need a zipper. So you're going to need a minimum of like a 9-inch zipper, okay? You can always get one longer and just cut it off. Not a big deal. You're also going to want a swivel clip, okay? See how that guy looks? You can get one that's a straight at the bottom. He doesn't have to round, okay? We're not that picky. So you just want to make sure he's like a 1/2 inch size. You know, that means across here in this opening is like a 1/2 inch, okay? All right, and you want to have some interfacing. Make sure you have some interfacing. This is a Pellon 911F as in Frank. Or you can get S as in Sam, F as in Frank 101, SF 101. It's like a shape flex type of interfacing, and you want it to be fusible, okay? So make sure whatever interfacing you use that it's fusible. Don't get anything too heavy, okay? Because it's going to be too bulky for you. So make sure that you fuse the bumpy side. That's the glue side. Make sure you put it to the back of your material, okay? And if you have never done this before, you can watch a previous video on how, you apply it. But you just apply it to the back side, and I always heat on the fabric side just because this is a lightweight and you don't want it to melt up with your iron, okay? All right, we're almost there, guys. So make sure you have some straight pins. You can use binder clips if you want to, and that's it. All right, so go ahead, grab all your materials, okay, and then meet me back here. Let's get started. I wanted to mention something to you about the tab pattern piece, which is like the strap, the one that you will receive in your pattern will cover 2 straps, 2 tabs on your pouch, okay? So if you're just making one, then just fold it just like so. Y'all been waiting for that. Just fold it in half here and just cut you one. Does that make sense? Okay, I hope so. All right, let's get started, y'all. All right, the first thing we want to do is we want to take our 2 main pieces and we are going to add our interfacing to the back. Okay, so go ahead and take care of that. Go ahead and add your interfacing to the back. All right, once you have added your interfacing to the back, then what you want to do is you'll notice there's one side that is shorter than the other, if you can see that. Okay, one side is shorter than the other. We're going to work with the shorter side. Okay, so this shorter side is the top of our pouch. Okay, so what you want to do is take your main piece and you're going to take your zipper. All right, and we're going to take this zipper and we're going to turn it down. Okay, see how it's turned down on that main side. All right, and we're just going to line it up across here. All right, so just line that up right across here. And then what you're going to do is take your lining piece, just one, again, making sure you are grabbing the shorter edge, and you're going to turn it where right sides are touching each other on the fabric, okay? And we're going to line it up with the top. Just like so. All right, so line that up with the top. All right, and then you can use binder clips or you can use a pin, whichever, works for you. And then just clip all the way across, okay? Do that and I will meet you over at the machine, okay? Okay, we are going to now take our presser foot off. This is our just regular presser foot, and so we're going to take that off just by pushing. There's a black button in the back. I'm working on a Brother SC600, so push that black button and that releases that presser foot, okay? And then we're going to get our zipper foot. Looks like this, okay? Almost like a tongue sticking out at you. All right, when you're placing that zipper foot on, it's got a left side and the right side, okay? And so you've got to look to see what side of the zipper that you're working with, so that you make sure you put it on the proper side, because you always want to put it on the side that will allow you to be closest to the zipper teeth, okay? So if you see here, my zipper teeth is running right here, and I'm going to be stitching down this side, which means I want to be on this left side, okay? So go ahead and take your presser foot and hold it, and there's a crossbar there. If you can see that, there's a crossbar there that you're going to lower down and grab, okay? All right, so now take your material. You're gonna line the edge up with the right side of that tongue, okay? And you're just gonna lower yourself down, just like so. All right, and we're gonna stitch straight down. And don't forget to reverse in the beginning and at the end, okay? All right, so your stitch should look just like so. All right, let's do the same thing with the other side. But this time when you do it, make sure that you move your fabric all out of the way, okay? So that you're only working with this side, all right? Okay, now what I want you to do is separate, one side from the other. Okay, it should look like this. And we are going to press this all open. So we're going to press on this side, and we're also going to press this nice and flat on this side. Okay, so go ahead and do that. All right, now what we want to do is we want to go and do a top stitch. That's just stitching on the right side of our fabric all the way across here, okay? And we're just going to be about 1/8 of an inch in, all right? So meet you over at the machine to go ahead and do that. Okay, y'all, this is what it should look like so far, okay? You've got your zipper in, top stitching's done. So now let's lay this aside for just 1 second and let's grab your tab, okay? Your strap, tab, interchangeable. So let's go ahead and grab that, and we're going to fold it and press it, and we're going to stitch this. So let me show you how that works. Okay, real simple. Just take it, turn it to your back side, and I'm working on the longer side. Okay, we're going to fold it in half. And if you don't have an iron, you can definitely finger press this, okay? And you're going to go ahead and press the center fold in there. But I'm just going to suggest, if you're going to do a lot of sewing, invest in an iron. It doesn't even have to be big. This is a little baby iron. I call it a wannabe iron. So get you something that will work. All right, so open it up. You'll see a crease, and then you're just going to take your raw edges and turn them into your crease, okay? See if I can do both of them at the same time. Turn them into your crease, and then we're going to fold it back again, just like so, okay? And then press it. Now, if this was a bigger piece, obviously you would want to do one side at a time, okay? So it should just look like this. And what I want you to do is go to the machine and go ahead and stitch real close to the fold on both edges, okay? Okay, great job. Your strap should look like this, all right? Now, take your swivel clip and place the strap through the opening here, okay? And then what you're gonna do, fold it so that your both raw ends are meeting up, okay? So it looks like that, all right? Now, and guys, this is totally customizable. If you want a longer strap, because of whatever you're connecting it to, obviously adjust it, for that. So this is, however long you want it to be, okay? So take this and we're gonna strap it in opposite of where our zipper pull is, okay? So my zipper pull is right here. So that means I'm gonna place it on this side. And what you wanna do is line up that edge. You wanna be right here in the center, but come up just about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch higher, okay? So you see that? See how my edge is up a little bit higher than my sides, all right? And then go ahead and put a pin in it. If you like it, then you should have put a pin in it. What? Oh my gosh. All right, so let's see if I can get a pin. There we go. All right, and then I want you to do is just do a little stitch just across here, okay? And I'll meet you back. So now that we are done with that zipper, before you make that stitch across the tab, take your zipper foot off and go back to your regular presser foot, okay? All right, so now you can go ahead and do your stitch across your tab. And y'all, I'm literally right on the edge here of, you know, where my sides are. You don't have to be too far in. So just be careful going across the zipper. And then I always like to go all the way back across the zipper just to give it a little bit extra support. All right, so see how that is? Very good. All right. All right, now we are going to stitch the bottoms, okay? So take just your top pieces, okay? Just your outside rather, your outside main piece. And you're gonna put right sides together, just like this, like you're clapping your hands, all right? And line those edges up, and you're gonna go ahead and pin or binder clip all the way across, okay? All right, now do the same thing with your lining, okay? Take your two pieces, clap them together, pin or bind all the way across the bottom, okay? Y'all are doing good. This is coming along so good. Y'all, this is great for even teens who don't carry purses. They only carry keychains. So this is even great for them, okay? All right, let's go over to the machine, and what we're gonna do, 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, we're gonna stitch right across, okay? Just stitch a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance right across, okay? And for those who are new, seam allowances are the distance from the cut edge of your material and the stitch line. That space should be a 1/4 of an inch, okay? And it's gonna vary from project to project, so don't think every project that you do is gonna be a 1/4 of an inch, okay? It's just gonna vary. You have to look at the instructions of the project that you're working on, all right? So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, here's a commercial break. This is totally not sponsored. But it's my own little commercial break. Isn't that great? All right. For those who might struggle with seam allowances or kind of knowing where exactly their needle is positioned, there is this really cool little gadget. You can grab it off of Amazon. It's called the Seam Guide Ruler by Madam Sew, okay? And what it does is it has all of the little seam allowances that you would normally deal with on this little ruler. And so what you do is you take it, and Madam Sew, if you're watching this, you can totally sponsor me. You take this and you line it up. I like to line it up with the edge of my presser foot. You can do it any way that you want, but this is just one example. Line it up right there with the edge of the presser foot, because that's always where I line my fabric up. And if I'm going to do a 1/4 of an inch here, I line it up with the edge here. And then what I do is I move my needle over until I get to a 1/4 of an inch. And then you can check it, see if it drops down in the hole, and almost. Let's go over just a little bit more. And look, it drops right down in the hole. That way I can keep the edge of my presser foot as my guide, okay? So you can work with it however you need to with the type of machine that you have. But y'all, this is a great, great little tool to have. I love toys. So there should be a link in the description if you want to grab you one, okay? All right, commercial's over. Now, take your fabric, line it up so that you're 1/4 inch, and you're gonna stitch right on across. Don't forget to reverse and back stitch in the beginning and at the very end, okay? All right, our seams are in. Cut your threads and then go over to your iron, and I want you to press your seam open, okay? Press your seam open for your outside as well as your lining, okay? Okay, guys, I'm so excited. We're getting there. So this is what it should look like now, okay? We've got our ends stitched together, all right? So now you're going to take it and you want your seam to be facing towards you, okay? So have it facing towards you. And what we're going to do is grab your zipper area here, all right? And I want you to have that seam in the middle of your zipper teeth. So line it up so it's in the middle of your zipper teeth. All right, just like so. And you're going to line it up so that your edges are lined up here, okay? Mine is just a hair off, y'all. I'm human. Give me a break. Okay. Now, if you notice, there might be a slight, like 1/8 of an inch or so. And it really depends on the zipper that you used, okay? I ended up using a little bit wider zipper, so that has me off a little bit. If you're using like a store-bought zipper, then you should line up like perfectly well, okay? It's not gonna throw everything off. It's really fine. So give yourself some grace there. It's okay. So line that up with your zipper teeth right there, okay? And then go ahead and put a pin on both sides of the zipper teeth, okay? Just to the sides here. All right, just like that. All right, so just hold that for right now. And now you're gonna take your zipper pull and move it down to about halfway, okay? I didn't do it in the beginning because I wanted to make sure that you were gonna be lined up properly when you go to zip it closed, okay? So go ahead and take it, and you're just gonna slide him down in there. All right, just keep going. So just about halfway, and that's totally good, okay? All right, now take your back piece and line it up as well. All right, and then you can repin those together. I didn't add the lining originally so that you could see your zipper pull and it makes it a little easier to get that zipper pull down, okay? So that's one side, all right? Flip over to the other side and do the same thing. Don't worry about this part lining up because it's not going to lay flat, okay? Just make sure that you're lining up here. And once you've gotten it lined up, use your pin or binder. I like using the pin on this part because it's just a little bit more accurate. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to stitch across, okay? When we stitch across, we're going to reverse stitch across the zipper. So that means I'm going to stitch forward and reverse. I'm going to come across the zipper, reverse back across the zipper, and then stitch to the end and back stitch, okay? All right, I'll see you at the machine. All right, y'all, we are 1/4 of an inch again, seam allowance in from our edge, okay? So like I said, stitch forward and reverse. And y'all, I don't really stitch over pins unless I desperately have to. Go ahead and take your pin out and keep on going. Now be careful as you go across the zipper. Uh-oh. So see, that might happen. And I'm so glad it did on screen so that y'all would know what to do. All right. So when that happens, that's just the machine saying, oh, you know, you've hit the zipper teeth. That's okay. Take your hand wheel, which is on the side of the machine, turn it towards you so that your needle can go down, okay? And then keep going across. So if that happens, you know, didn't do that. All right, and then reverse back across it. Oh, we did it again. So let's go back. All right, so if that happens, just do not freak out. Turn your hand wheel to help yourself get across the teeth, okay? All right, so now you've made it across. All right, let's do the same thing with the other side, okay? Okay, y'all, commercial break. So this zipper is trying to get the best of me. It's like the so story of my life right now in this season. But I broke a needle. And for those who have are just new to sewing and you've never changed a needle before, I hope this helps you, okay? Because this is going to happen. You sew long enough, you are going to break a needle. Okay. So to change it, go ahead and hold, you know, the upper part that is remaining in your machine. Make sure that you've located the broken piece and have discarded it so that it's not down in your machine. But hold that part and then unscrew, loosen that screw there enough to get the needle out, okay? So go ahead and take that and discard it. All right, so I'm using a universal needle Schmidt's that is a size 80, 12. So if you think about a fraction, 80 on top, 12 below. And if you look at it, it's got a rounded side. And then if you turn it, it's got a flat side. Can you see that? It's got a flat side. All right. So you want the flat part to be in the back, flat back. That's how I remember it. Take the flat part, turn it so that it's in the back, and you're gonna go right back up into that opening. And if you look here, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. You see here, this is the top of your needle. That is a stopper. So you want to make sure your needle is hitting that stopper so that it's all the way up, okay? You see that? I'll show you again. See how that's a stopper? Make sure the top is all the way there, all right? And then you can tighten it down with your hand at first, the screw, and then tighten it. Don't over tighten it, but just tighten it the rest of the way with your little screwdriver, okay? So you've just changed the needle. Look at that. You've learned something today. All right. So let's get back to sewing. All right. So our zipper is completely in now. Great job. So now take your scissors. Don't use your best ones, y'all, cutting the zipper. So take your scissors and we're just going to cut right across the zipper here to get rid of that excess. Okay, do the same for the other side. And you can also seal it with, go across that tab, around it rather. You can also seal it with a lighter, okay? All right, so now go ahead and take your bag, go through one of your openings here, and then just flip it to the right side. Look at that. Oh my gosh. That is coming along so stinking cute. I love it. Look at that. That looks so good. Okay, make sure it's all out, all flipped. All right, you got that? All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna stitch our 4 sides, okay? And you wanna take your side, and I'm starting with the one that's right here by the strap, the tab here, okay? And you're gonna just open it up. We're gonna do a French seam, okay? I need to cut my threads. I'm telling y'all to cut my threads and I didn't cut my own. All right. We're going to do a French seam here. And so make sure you have all of your pieces lined up. And again, I'm on the outside. This is the outside, okay? So make sure all your pieces are lined up here, okay? All right, now, if you have a business or something and you're going to put a label, a tag in, you know, this is the part where you're going to want to go ahead and put that tag in, okay? So let me grab it and show you what that looks like. All right, so just take your tag and just fold it in half, okay? Or whatever your tag is. If you're putting one on the side. If you're putting one on the front, you know, you want to go back a couple steps and stitch it on the front. All right, so go ahead and put that in. And what you're going to do is have it face down so that your raw edges are matching up, okay? And I like to place it right here near the seam, okay? See how that is? All right. And I'm just going to put a binder clip there. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to stitch 1/4 inch right across here. Okay. So go ahead and prep all of your other sides. You can clip that little hangover there. Okay. So line them all up. Let me clip that first. Line all your pieces up. And you should see, you should have a nice little 45-degree fold right there, okay? And keep doing that all the way around, and then I'll see you at the machine, okay? Okay, y'all, we are on the home stretch. So go ahead and line your edge up again. We're coming in 1/4 inch. And you're going to stitch right across. Make sure you are starting there at the fold because you don't want a hole in this, okay? So make sure you're starting at the fold. All your edges are lined up. And let's go ahead and stitch across. Back stitch in the beginning and at the very end, okay? Do that for all 4 of your sides. All right, all 4 sides should be done and it should look like this, okay? But we're not gonna leave it like that. We wanna finish those edges. So what you wanna do is I want you to cut this space down about half of it. So cut half of it off. And so you're probably like, well, Miss Ann, why didn't we just stitch 1/8 inch? Well, it's much easier to stitch 1/4 inch, cut it down to 1/8 than trying to stitch 1/8. Trying to keep that fabric all lined up is a little bit harder. So cut down all of your edges here. Like I said, cut it in half. And then what we're going to do is flip it to the wrong side. And we're going to restitch those 4 sides. And guess what? We will be done. All right. Oh, this is looking so cute. So flip it. Make sure you poke out all of your corners there. All right. And I will meet you over at the machine, okay? Okay, y'all, we are on the final stitches. It reminds me of that old song. I feel like it was a part of a movie, maybe. I don't know. Talking about the final countdown. It's the final countdown. Okay, I'm just really telling my age. All right. Lower that presser foot down. We're 1/4 inch in, and we're gonna stitch. Make sure you're nice and flat, okay? And you're nice and straight. You're going to stitch from fold to fold, and that's going to sandwich in that raw edge that we had, okay? Don't forget to back stitch. Make sure you're keeping yourself nice and straight. Sorry, I had a weird fold there. All right, do that for all 4, and then I'll see you for the big reveal, okay? All right, we've got our final stitching done. So now let's see how it turned out. So go ahead and turn it to the right side. Poke all your corners out. And you can really do this by hand. They're not too hidden. Look at that. Look, we've got our tag in there if you're doing a business. Oh my goodness. Y'all, that turned out super cute. Super cute. Look at that. Even though we've got to deal with this stinkiness every single month, at least we can be cute while going through it. All right, so you can take you a pad and put it right in there. All right, and like I said, this is like a size 5, and 2 size 5s will fit in there, okay, for the pads one. All right, and look at there. Zip that baby up. Oh my gosh, this looks awesome. Awesome sauce. Okay, y'all, I'm so glad we got a chance to hang out and create this today. I'm so grateful that you did that with me. I hope this is helpful and fun and will be great for you or for your teenager, or you might want to use it for other things, you know, whatever. But I hope it's a fun little pouch for you to make. I had fun doing it. If you want to know more about us, you can go to SophoriaStudio.com. We ask that you continue to like and subscribe to our channel. And I've got some exciting things coming up. I'm thinking about maybe doing some virtual kind of classes, and I would really love your feedback with that. I think that would be fun for us to hang out and sew together and learn together. So anyway, I look forward to seeing you again and creating. In the meantime, have some fun, check out the other videos, and keep crafting until y'all see you again. Okay, bye.